You're listening to FUBAR Radio, and I'm joined by Chantel Jeffries. Lovely lady, you've come all the way from the USA.
Yes, I have.
Just for a couple of days. I mean, your brand new single, Wait, is already smashing it in the UK.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I've been getting a great response.
Does that feel weird? Because it featured on Hot Hits UK. Again, playlisting is so important. It's your debut single.
Yes.
It's pretty sick for it to go straight in.
Yeah, it's a dream come true. It's incredible to see the feedback, especially outside of America. So that's something that's been really exciting for me.
Did you imagine that when you started making music that it would go further than the US? Or did you just, in your head, were you like, oh, it will just be listened to by people I know and like friends and people like, your fans that you already have?
I mean, it might have been a delusion of grandeur, but I definitely thought it was going to be, in a lot of places. The song is a Euro dance-inspired track, so I figured it would play in Europe just because it's kind of where I got the inspiration from. So I kind of made it for that. So I thought, I'd definitely be here.
And it is a banger. You obviously started off as a DJ, CJ the DJ.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I love monikers. I love nicknames. It's sick. That was before you even became a DJ. You got that nickname.
Yeah.
So it's like written in the stars that you had to do this job.
Yes, as you could say.
When did you sort of go, right, I want to start producing, I want to make my own music?
It was kind of just putting two songs together while you're DJing. Like, you're a DJ too, so when you're playing, and sometimes you're just messing around or you're playing at a party of your friends, and you see two songs that are the same BPM and the same key, and you're like, these two songs are totally different, but I think I'm just gonna try to play them together and mix them and see what happens. And so once you do that, it's like maybe it's a Euro house, maybe it's a hip hop, or maybe whatever it might be, and then you're like, oh, this sounds really good. Maybe I need to make something like this, and that's kind of where it happened for me.
That is literally like the best answer I could ever have asked for from that, because it really feels like it's come from your heart. This making music has come from where, your passion and your musical style, which is exactly where it needs to come from, I guess.
Yeah.
It's exciting now. You've dropped your first single, obviously nerve-wracking before the first one comes out, but now it's come. You've got your EP coming soon.
Yeah.
It's all sort of rolling on. Are you kind of know, it's called Calculated Luck, right?
Yes.
Tell me a bit about the title first, because that sounds very intriguing.
So it comes from, the artist Vori that's on Wait, and he's on a few of my other songs on my project. His whole thing is lucky, like his project name Lucky Me, and he's always just, that's like his logo. It's like a four-leaf clover and stuff like that. So calculated luck, it comes from the meaning being like, you can be lucky in life, and a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, she's lucky or this or that or whatever it might be. But if you're not prepared and you don't calculate and you don't put in the hard work of certain things, then when that moment comes, that opportunity presents itself. If you're not ready, it's going to pass you by. If you don't have, the preparation in place, it doesn't even matter if you're lucky. So that's one of the things. It's just like something that I live by. It's you can work hard and just be ready for those opportunities.
And it feels like that is how you live your life, because you, as we say here, have got your fingers in many, many pies. You're a DJ, you're making your own music, you're also brand ambassador for people, you're a model. You must have had to kind of sit down and really make a plan of how you were going to live your life in terms of your business. Because you are, I guess, a business, because that's how you have to work it, because otherwise all of the enterprises that you run wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
Was that quite a scary, daunting prospect to go, right, I'm going to be all of these things and I'm going to do each one to the best of my ability and absolutely smash it?
I feel like I've kind of just been that way my whole life. I've just always liked to try new things, and then you try new things and you're like, oh, I actually really like this. But the thing is, I'm trying this and it's new, but I have all of this knowledge from other stuff that really does carry over if you can apply it the right way. So it's not totally new. It's kind of like, okay, I have all these pieces, let me plug them in, and now I can do this. So even with music, for me, it's like producing, the programs and all the things that you do. It's like, you look at it, it's a graph. It's like you do math and you know about sound waves and sine waves and cosine waves and all these things. And those are in music as well. And you think like, oh, I was a mathlete. And then you're like, I never thought being a mathlete or like going to calculus was ever going to be something that I would use in the real world, or like knowing all these random things. I'm like, okay, I know this, but why does it matter? And then you come into another subject, you're like, oh, wow, I actually know something and it actually does help in this one way, which I never would have thought. So...
Which must be also brilliant for your fans to hear. And also, you're such a good role model. Like a mathlete who goes on to do this, what an incredible career. But also to feed that back to young people as well, so that they know that whatever they're studying at school, whether they think it's going to be irrelevant, they find it boring, you might find in like 10 years' time.
Yeah, I mean, it's taking the most out of any situation. If I personally, like, I hated going to school because I was bullied and stuff like that. So I just graduated early and I left when I was 16. But I think it's so important. I learned certain things, and just the act of learning, your brain is a muscle. Like, you need to work it out. You need to keep it fresh, and you need to keep it malleable and like elastic. And you don't want it to be like, oh, I stopped learning, now my neurotransmitters, I'm not opening any pathways. So it's just like, I think some people, they look at school and they're like, I hate school, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to be in school to be learning. And that's something that I still do to this day. Like, I love learning. It's like my favorite thing to do. I love doing like research, and like, it's just, you're learning. So you're keeping your brain, up to its fullest abilities.
You're inspiring me right now. I'm like going to go home and study some maths in a second. You're pals with a lot of other DJs. I saw you DJ'd with Diplo in Las Vegas. Do you take any, talking of learning, because he's obviously a well-established DJ, did he give you any tips, or did you give him any tips that were kind of helpful for either of you?
Diplo is one of my really good friends, and he's an amazing DJ. He's one of the most hardest working people I've ever met. And just honestly being around and seeing how he operates is like inspiring for me. Like, he tells me a lot of things, but it's more the act of like watching it happen and being like, oh, he's doing this, okay, he's doing that, and just knowing, he does everything. And when you say I have my hands in a lot of pots, he does so much behind the scenes, like, people don't even realize. Like, he produces on so many albums and so many songs that people don't even know, because it's not coming out under Diplo, but like everyone that you can imagine. So it's like, okay, yeah, and a lot of people don't know, so they might not realize, like, he is so successful in a lot of ways. But I'm like, I feel like that happens to me too. People, they don't see it right in their face, so they don't know. So they think, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that. It's like, that's not true. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like 10 different artist projects, hasn't he? Like, under different names that he does, like, with loads of different people.
Well, not only that, but he's like producing like Beyonce, Chris Brown, all of their albums. Like, you look at his discography and it's insane. One day I was doing my research, because I like to just go online and just find out random things. And I was bored one day and I was looking up random people's discographies, and I was like looking up FUBAR, and then I was like looking up John Mayer and like Frank Ocean, and then I was looking up Diplo's, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like everything I've ever listened to in my life is on here.
Which I love to do, by the way.
Yeah.
What you just said, like going and finding out who wrote the songs, like going, kind of looking at, like, for example, the Carter's new album, and looking at who all the writers, Christina Aguilera's album. We've got
Vori's
some UK
on there too.
Yeah,
on Beyonce.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Sick.
So.
Let's have a chat about them, actually. So Vori and Migos on the track. Massive for your first track. How did you, obviously Vori, but how did you get in? Did you get in the studio with them, or was it?
I was already in the studio, and he, I think, actually had a session right after me. So he came in, and we were still finishing up. We were working on Wait, and Vori came in, and he's like, do you have anyone doing melodies on this? And I'm like, no. He's like, do you mind if I put some down? I said, of course. And so he sat down, and he's amazing, and takes him like 1 second, and he's already doing it. And then I said, the basis of the song, it's called Wait, because like we took the wait sign when you cross the street, and you're like, wait. So that's where the whole entire idea from the song even came. So I told him that, and he just started doing melodies, and we literally sat down and wrote the song.
It's kind of like it must be a bit of an out-of-body experience when that kind of stuff happens, right? It's a bit like it just all comes together in this kind of like perfect percussion, and then you have a track.
I feel like I'm in the Truman Show, and so I feel like it's happening like that, but it's like someone up there like do like making it happen or something, because I'm like, this is not normal. So I'm just like, whatever. At this point, nothing surprises me, honestly.
Well, congratulations, because honestly, it's a really sick track. I can't wait to hear Calculated Luck. Make sure you come back to the UK, because we want to see you play.
Yes.
I want to come to one of your DJ sets. Let's do some back-to-back or something.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll be back soon, hopefully.
Sick. Well, thank you so much for joining us on FUBAR Radio, and we'll catch you next time you're in the UK.
Hey, thanks for having me.